It's a story as old as time. In the beginning, there was silence.
Boring.
Until one day, someone made a sound.
The beginning of everything is not a light. And this low vibration start to go higher and higher and higher, and suddenly in every mix start to sing. It's like the most beautiful song you could ever possibly think about. The main technology that they used to have wasn't the light and energy, was the vibration. The vibration, the music, the sounds were the tools that this civilization had to transform realities.
A new body of information was released to humanity, and this was information to do with Caesar technology as opposed to laser technology. This is taking sound, so Caesar stands for sound amplified by stimulated emission of radiation, and that's really about taking sound and turning it into a coherent beam of sound. This goes back much further in time because we realize that the ancients were using this technology long before we rediscovered it. Edley Scullin, who at the southern tip of Florida in the 1920s built a spectacular structure known as Coral Castle. What Edley Scullin did manage to do is use mysterious technology and mysterious tools to single-handedly build something which would be impossible for one human being to build. A giant about 1 hectare property that's filled with giant blocks of coral cut to perfection and precision, blocks that weigh up to 10 tons and possibly more, that were arranged into a variety of structures and geometrical patterns and shapes. And the famous swinging door, when it broke in the 80s, the best engineers in Florida have not been able to put it back together again. One day, Edley Scullin was apparently seen moving and levitating these giant coral stones holding ice cream cones in his hands. And when I heard that magic word, ice cream cones, I immediately knew that this was something very special. What we've got here is ancient technology, cone-shaped tools, Edley Scullin using ice cream cones or cone-shaped tools to levitate his giant blocks. And this is where we start understanding how we can use Caesar technology, sound laser beams, to create levitational effects. Well, what is a Caesar beam? A Caesar beam is coherent sound that has been propelled beyond the speed of light. We find cone-shaped technology and cone-shaped tools, when you start looking, you start finding it all over the world through pretty much all of human history. Our voices carry infinite amount of energy. We can create infinitely. We've already looked at how the infinite number of shapes and physical manifestations that happen as we speak, every sound we utter, every sound we create. We've seen it through the study of looking at the cymoscope that shows us the actual effects as we speak of the human voice, that we have infinite potential to create and manifest through sound. What happens with the cone-shaped tools, the sound goes in to the cone, it starts to speed up, it spirals, creates a spiral effect, and the sound speeds up until it hits hypersound speeds, at which point it shoots out the tip like a laser beam would, and we have a vortex field, a Caesar vortex field. What happens around vortex fields? This is a well-studied phenomenon already in the 30s and 40s in Russia. A lot has been written about this. Vortex fields distort gravity around them. And here we have an answer as to how cone-shaped tools were used for levitation devices, for casting spells, as Caesar beams, to cut metal, to crush stone, and do pretty much anything you can imagine. Once you can focus a specific sound frequency through a cone-shaped tool, and you can manipulate it to get whatever frequency you want, because clearly whoever designed this technology knew what they were doing. Now once you start combining the light from your eyes and the sound from your mouth, guess what you have just done? You have become a co-creator, just like the source of all creation. When God said, "Let there be light," the sound and the light combines and activates the quantum soup of infinite possibility and brings forth everything in creation. The sound of our voice, the light of our eyes through the cones in our retina turns us into creators of anything we want to create.